Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi there. How about you there, Robbie? Hi there. Hi there. How are you? That's my New England accent there.
You must
Robbie,
be very excited. Very excited about the big game if you're from New England.
Oh, what a big game. Boy, we thumped them, huh? I tell you, those Indianapolis Colts, they thumped them there.
Oh, you played
Yeah.
wicked awesome.
Wicked good. I swear to God. There's no way. I tell you, the Colts come into that stadium at their peril. At their peril. I've chosen, Robbie, there that I will be, since we're doing the big game, at Jimmy's.
Oh, that's right.
Since,
we're going to Jimmy's.
For years, people associated me with the New England thing. How many people, Robbie, growing up there, would associate me with Boston?
Everybody.
A lot of people always say, hey, you're from Boston. You're from Boston. So I'm going to take full advantage of that now so that I will have a significant rooting interest in the Super Bowl coming up there, Robbie.
Is it a genuine interest? Do you really care?
Are you asking me a regular question?
I am. I want to know. I know because so many people, they think you're from Boston because of your alliance, your long-term association with the Red Sox, but in fact, you've never even lived in Massachusetts.
I am a Central Connecticut fan. It was actually profiled the year that the New York Giants and the Patriots played in the Super Bowl. They talked about the Central Connecticut fans,
right,
where you would have many Boston Red Sox fans and New York Giants fans, and you would have many New York Yankee fans and Patriot fans, and then just shake it up any way you want. You would have New York Giants fans and New York Yankee fans. You would have Patriots fans and Red Sox fans, but you had a mixture. I was raised as a Boston Red Sox fan and also a New York Giants fan. And the reason for that is that my father lived in New York City, cut his teeth rooting for sports in New York City, but then was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan in New York. So Brooklyn Dodgers fans did not root for the New York Yankees. So
I see.
When and kids, I hope you're enjoying this little travel, this little trip through history. I hope that's helping it. When the Brooklyn Dodgers moved to Los Angeles to become the Los Angeles Dodgers, my father was a man without a team, like so many people in New York that rooted for the Brooklyn Dodgers. So he ended up, like many Brooklyn Dodger fans, eventually adopting the Boston Red Sox. But he kept his loyalty to the New York football team, which was the New York Giants.
And it's a very complicated relationship. Wasn't it like 6 or 7 years ago at a victory rally for the Patriots where a spontaneous Yankees suck chant began for a different sport? I mean, this was a football victory rally, and they took the time to badmouth another baseball team.
Well, this is back in probably right before 2004 when they actually finally won the World Series, where the Red Sox fans were so long-suffering that even with a Patriots victory party, they started yelling Yankees suck.
I remember that and scratching my head.
That was the 80 years of the winless drought and the curse of the Bambino and all that stuff. It's pretty fascinating. But the fact is that we now have Seattle and New England. They are going to be in the Super Bowl. And because, I don't have a real dog in the fight, I've decided, though, to thicken up the New England accent so that I can have a rooting interest there,
Great.
boy. That's what I want to do.
So we get 10 shows and 2 bonuses of that? All right.
No.
It'll be
and I know you've got your we're going to bring in Katie in just a second here because she is paneling with us today. Katie from Cake and Cookies. Katie Powers, Von Herman, Sacco, and Vanzetti is with us today. You still married?
Me?
Yes. Okay, just checking. Just wanted to double check.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, she had
very,
to think
very
about
nice
it.
to have you here. We'll introduce you formally in a moment here. But I did want to say that the other thing is Seattle did that showboat thing just enough, even with the incredible comeback win, and you cannot argue. I thought it's probably in the last 5 years one of the best football games I have ever seen.
Even I
Absolutely
stayed
incredible.
with
Yes.
the second half. Even I did.
You did?
I did. It was a jaw-dropping finale to a game.
You watched the end of the game.
I did. How about that? Isn't
stunned
that
at that.
something?
He also called it a finale.
Yeah, it was.
Why did you call it?
Well, that was the end of the game as the finale. It was grand. It was a grand finale. I've gotten better, though, Mike. I no longer call basketball practice rehearsal.
I'm not even plugged in here. Hold on.
Come back.
There we go. You called it a finale?
Well, wouldn't you say that was a rousing finale to a great football contest?
I guess technically. Let me turn this music on.
Come back, Pony.
I guess technically you could call it what a finale.
Okay, how about this?
No, you can't. No, you can't call it a finale.
How about this? Bitch and finish.
A great finish.
Yeah.
Incredible comeback. I mean, incredible comeback. And Green Bay, I go back, I'm an old enough fan to remember Dan Devine, who was the coach of the Green Bay Packers.
Hi.
He was the coach of Notre Dame, too.
Listen, I want you to go out there and have a great finale.
All right.
I'm Dan Devine. He also wasn't
It's
his
a different divine.
It's such a long day. I forgot the energy. The energy instantaneously is back from the old Mike O'Mara show at WJFK, where Katie was in studio with us, and you would just lose total control.
No, I think
because she is your greatest audience in the history of mankind.
I remember
And
Dan Devine, Mike. His head writer was Bruce Valanche.
He got horrible. I don't know what the whole story is, but he got horrible death threats because Green Bay lost. And Green Bay has a ton of goats in that game, especially the guy that
the onside kick.
The onside kick
Oh,
that
my
bounced off
God.
his head. Very, very sad.
I really
very,
felt,
very sad.
you know what happened, and I don't know, it's because I guess I don't watch a lot of football or sports. All I thought about is, you know what, if I was ever a Green Bay Packer, that would have been me. I would have been that guy.
That is, I saw it twice. One was a pass that wasn't caught where it bounced off a guy's head. No, it might have been a punt return. It's perspective. And what happens is you think that ball that's 40 feet above your head is going to arrive at a different time, and so you wait. That's all that is. I mean, to be honest with you, that's not anything egregious, but people go, oh, that guy sucks. And I feel for that. And Green Bay conducted themselves like men after the game. They were not. They were very, very classy, and I thought that was good. But there was just a little, here's what I got, again for Seattle. The post-game interviews.
Yeah.
Why are they screaming? Why are they saying, we have to go through brick walls? We have to go through that brick wall. At the reporter, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it and act like look,
Calm down.
You're children. You're children. You're a few years removed from being children.
Yeah.
So I understand you're young men, and I understand you're very, very excited. But the fact is, please, 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 when you get to these teams, when they're talking about the toughness and they're talking about the work ethic, I'd love to one of these coaches just to set aside a little time to say, how about conducting yourself like grown-ups?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, and not screaming at the reporters after the game. It gets me a little bit discouraged when they do that. So, because of that, and they did it again, it was Richard Sherman last year,
Yes.
and of course, he went on to fame and fortune. And I'm so sorry you hurt his arm during the game.
Yeah,
but I really am. I
break.
don't like to see any player get injured. But the fact is, they didn't learn anything. And I think Pete Carroll doesn't give a rat's ass. And the fact is that I like to see guys conduct themselves like grown-ups. That's all. And so I will be, for now, even though there are not a lot of see, the thing is, on the other side, though, you got Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Bill, stone-faced, not fun, accused of cheating Belichick. You got
Hoodie.
two scummy,
The hoodie.
crappy, huh?
The guy in the hoodie.
The
He's
guy in the hoodie.
I don't like him either.
I would have liked to see Aaron Rodgers. I would have liked to see him with
He
his
seems like a
gimpy
nice
leg
man.
and stuff like that. So that's am I boring you yet? Talking sports?
No,
for the
I think it's
entire
great. And,
first,
I'd like to quote my good friend Brad about he's already entered his Super Bowl prediction. He says, it's too bad they can't both lose.
I know.
Yeah, and
They
that's
just-
really, I think that's going to be a big feeling going into the game.
Yeah.
Well, what I wrote this morning when I was doing my show prep, I said we've got Seattle and New England. Who knew? And so, I mean, that's it. I mean, everybody knew it was going to happen, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be drinking beers at Jimmy's.
Exactly. And that everybody wins then.
That's right. And, depending on the score, Carlos said, will you be staying to the end of the game? And I said, nope. Okay, thank you. All right, you can start the show, you
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's Kunta Kinte!
What can I do with you, boy?
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for? Well, I like the way you wear your hair. Wear it natural. That's good, man. You know, I wish more of the young children today would wear their hair natural like Dr. Martin Luther King did. That's right. You ain't never seen Dr. Martin Luther King with no mess of Jerry curl on his head. Ain't that right?
Amen.
Dr. King ain't come walk around like that. You know, sweet, I met Dr. Martin Luther King once.
And you lying. You ain't never met Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I met Dr. Martin Luther King in 1962 in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, just walking off, feeling good. I walk around the corner, man woke up, hit me in my chest, right? I fall on the ground, right? And I look up, it's Dr. Martin Luther King. I said, Dr. King. He said, oops, I thought you were somebody else.
Oh, man, you lying. You ain't never met Martin Luther King.
Knocked the wind out of me. Yes, he did.
No, it didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
Hey, boy, why you so worried about how you look anyway?
Well, I am trying to gain the interest of a certain young lady.
I ain't never heard no woman giving no man no love just because his hair look good.
That's right.
Is this American Girl?
Yes.
You got to go through a papa. See, that's a big misconception. People don't know that about American women. Ain't got nothing to do with your hair or your pocket. You get in good with American woman's father, you in good with her. Ain't that right?
He ain't lying.
That's right. You get in good with the father, you home free.
Mm-hmm. Home free.
Like a bird.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios from sunny Southwest Florida, our nation's capital. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, powered by Encore Insurance Services and heard daily for over 5 years at MikeO'MaraShow.com, online, on air, and on your mobile device, and yes, on KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. For God's sake, you know what? I'm going to put that back in the opening because the fact is they are our only...
Don't give the people what they want, Mike.
Well, I just don't want to confuse people. So KCJJ, we're there.
Okay.
And this is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners on the planet because they get it. And if you are here, you do too. Let me welcome a brand new sponsor to the Mike O'Mara Show, On Deck Lending. We're very, very excited. And it's always nice when I welcome a new sponsor and stumble on the name of the new sponsor right at the beginning of the very first commercial that they have on this show. Lucky me. Attention business owners. If you need capital to take your business to the next level but dread the hassle of a traditional loan, I want to tell you about that process in a second. Your time is valuable, and On Deck understands that. On Deck's loan application process is simple and fast, so you can focus on running your business and not filling out paperwork. When I had my failed restaurant back in the day, O'Mara's Restaurant and Irish Pub, eatery, drinkery, partyery.
You know what it was, Mike? It was a night spot.
Yeah, there were times that we had to go to with our hands out to get a line of credit to get things for our business, and we had to go to the local banks. And really, Mr. Potter might as well have been in there and going, why? I remember the one time I went to a local bank and tried to get money from them. They said, why, Mr. O'Mara, you're worth more dead than alive. It was not fun. It was not fun. That's why I want to tell you about OnDeckLending.com. OnDeckLending.com, which, by the way, Rob's goal in 2015 was to write better copy. OnDeckLending.com. Is that anywhere in the copy at the top? No, it is not. That's the name of the sponsor, is OnDeckLending.com.
That is. It is. But also, you need to go to OnDeckLending.com, and it's the On Deck is the name of the company.
Down at the bottom, you see, it's nowhere in the top.
I see.
I would lead with it at least once, so then people know what they have. But,
I understand.
That's good stuff.
I'll help him with that.
Please, can you help him with his? He's the worst copywriter I've ever seen in my life.
I'll help him with that.
Thank you very much. On Deck is 100% dedicated to their customers, granting true business loans, not credit card advances. They use the cutting-edge technology to evaluate your business so they can do it quickly based on your performance. How many times have small businesses said, we need the money, they didn't give us the loan? Don't they see what we're doing?
Exactly.
They do at On Deck. That's the way it works. Plus, On Deck has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and 93% of their customers would recommend them to a friend. Does your small business need capital for growth opportunity? Don't hesitate. Visit OnDeckLending.com today or call 888-627-2904 and start the simple application process. It's waiting for you at OnDeckLending.com. That's OnDeckLending.com, and we welcome them as a brand new sponsor. We also welcome a guest who's joining us today. By the way, Oscar's out all week for his business program that he's on, and we're very, very proud of him that he's doing that. We wish him a happy week. He'll be back with us 1 week from today. Katie Powers is joining us right now.
Yay. Thank you for
Hi,
having
Katie.
me.
How are you?
I'm super.
How's cake and cookies going?
Great.
How's your marriage? How's your marriage going?
Now that is going well.
That's good. How's the town of Herndon going?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
she lived in Reston.
Oh, she lived in Reston.
Well,
Oh,
we
that's
sold
right.
our house.
The new one?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
December 29th, we moved out.
You were only there. The reason I was asking. Hold on, just so people know,
I have commitment issues.
the entire reason I was asking is because this, in my mind, was still a brand new house that you were as excited about that as anything. I follow you, online, and I see your social media. I'm a stalker. You were super duper deluxe excited about that, and then now you're gone. Oh, something bad had to happen.
No, what happened?
Did Dan's parents hand him more money? I'm just curious. That's terrible.
No, the
True
Metro,
or false, Katie? You sold the house by accident.
We sold it by accident.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not a joke.
Okay, you did a test run to see what you might be able to get for it,
and we sold it in 3 days for a huge profit. Not even joking.
That's true in our area because that's the area. That's Northern Virginia.
We were just the 2 days after Thanksgiving. We were like, let's go ahead and put it on the market. Let's go down to Dan's parents' house in Florida, stay for a couple of months because we both work from home, and just see what happens. And
you were down here in my state?
No, we never made it. And let me
Okay, this is getting more confusing.
We never made it. But that was
spark plug. Way to bring her in, Rob.
That was the plan. And then so we put it on the market, had an open house the next day, and got an offer the following day. And we had crazy overpriced it.
They had barely time to even bake the cinnamon cookies to make the house smell like you want to buy it. And then all of a sudden, there's a bidding war.
It was so.
Wow.
And so we were like, well, I guess we're not going to Florida. We got to pack up the house and get out.
Yeah.
Okay, but the big question is why. I know when you got this house, this was your dream home. You were raving about this house, not ranting. You were raving about this house, and you were excited about it. What motivated you to say we don't like it anymore?
There's like 3 factors. 1, the Metro went through. 2,
it went through your house?
Yeah, the train actually went through part of their living room.
Oh, well, that would
not enough to affect their lives on a daily basis. Just the corner, right where they keep the fireplace logs.
Well, I'd move out of that house too then.
Yeah, that would be. That would be terrible.
Less than a mile away. So the Metro went in. What's it called? The house down the street sold for an exorbitant amount of money.
Oh, so it was financial. Okay,
yeah.
All right, very.
And
good.
ours was far nicer.
Right.
And then 3, we slowly realized that we lived in about a third of the house between the 2 of us.
Yeah, it's
Too
just
much
the 2 of
house.
you
It
guys.
was just too big. So we're like, sold. We're out.
And then you moved to. Did you ever end up going to Florida at all?
No, haven't made it there.
Okay, so where and are you still living in your house?
No.
Where are you living? God, this is an interesting interview here. Where are you living now?
Okay, sort of.
We're living at the Ritz-Carlton, Mike.
Right. I'm a high roller, making it rain. So no, we're camping out in Dan's parents' house.
Oh, you're at Dan's parents' house.
But we spent a week in the Outer Banks, and then we went down to Savannah looking for houses.
Oh, so you moved to Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah, that's where we just got back on Saturday.
Is it looking like that's where you're going to be in residence?
I do believe so. So we'll be the midpoint between you and the DC studio.
Hey, you have a place to stay when you drive home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
right.
that is
That's
your
where we
halfway
normally
mark,
stop.
isn't it?
It's a halfway
Savannah.
mark.
Savannah, did you love Savannah?
Yes.
Oh wow. Oh
Absolutely.
wow. I had no idea all this was going on in your life.
either.
That's incredible. Wow. Wowzy woozy. The only thing about Savannah, got to tell you this, okay?
Uh-huh.
Can I tell you just one thing?
Please.
But this is a serious thing.
Okay.
I don't want. I hate people that do this, but I'm only doing it for purposes of entertainment.
All right.
And legitimate. It's a legitimate reason I shied away from Savannah.
Okay.
Savannah in this. If you're going to look at this time of year, you're probably not going to be bothered by.
I've been
what
there
are
in
called,
August.
You've been there in August.
Okay.
Have you been there in the spring?
Yes. Oh, the
They are called
tourists.
the baseball team down there is called, I think,
The Sand Gnats.
The Sand Gnats.
Yes.
And the no-see-ums.
Oh, no,
Right.
They're these tiny
Oh,
they're
little
horrible.
insects.
Yeah.
that I went out and played golf there, and I couldn't play
Oh, it's
because
so bad.
they were
Yeah.
that. It was terrible. So you're aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're down with that. You know what's going on.
You know,
Why
if they-
Savannah? Savannah, great party town, Katie. Terrific party town.
It's very. There's a huge art culture there that I love. It's a city, but it's still got that small town feel. Everybody is nice.
Oh, she read
know,
the
I have-
brochures.
I happen to be a fan of Savannah. You know
I
that,
love
right?
it. I love it.
Would you like to know my little Savannah saying that I have?
Sure.
In Savannah, in Charleston, South Carolina, they ask you what you do. In Savannah, Georgia, they ask you what you drink. That's
that's
the
okay, I
little
like
saying
that.
they have
Oh,
down there.
they have go cups. Anywhere
Yes.
you go,
Yep. Yeah, they have go cups.
Even if you're drinking water, they say,
That's
"Can
right.
can I get you a glass to go?"
Yep,
I'm
yep.
like,
When you
For
when
what?
you go through the giant Mad Max gate that is the border of Virginia,
Yeah.
and you head down through the Carolinas where there's really nothing but misguided people making
Wayward.
mistakes all the time. Yeah, wayward people. No, that's not. I love the Carolinas too. But the fact is, you get to Georgia. Savannah, Georgia is so. I think Savannah, Georgia is the coolest place.
It's
in
cool.
Georgia. It's very, very
It's
cool.
just cool.
And the good thing about it is, even if
It's
she
much
decides,
cooler than Brunswick.
if she decides she doesn't like it, they're only going to buy the house for 8 months anyway. So they'll, they come, they go, and
Yeah.
then they'll leave. So it's fine.
That's it. But I mean, that's just really terrific that you're able to take advantage of that. And our area is so explosive as far as real estate. Rob? Have you gotten the same kind of windfall? Have you tested the people sell their houses out in your neighborhood all the time?
Our
Is
house
it
is
the same
appreciated very nicely, but we were stupid, and my grandmother once said that God takes care of the infants and the stupid. And that when we were asked by our family to move out of the home we were living in because they were selling it, we looked around to buy a house. And we really couldn't afford anything. It was back in the WJFK days for me, and the
Right.
money just wasn't there. So
Right.
we rented. And because we rented for 2 years, that's when the economy of the housing market bottomed out. We
Right.
saved probably $120,000 by renting for 2 years because the house is all diminished in value that much, and
Right.
now it's bounced back. We bought
Right.
at the perfect time.
Oh,
I
you did
feel-
buy at the perfect time. I
feel like-
remember you bought at the perfect time.
I feel like we're Barbara Corcoran, but we're just idiots. We just got lucky. That's all it is.
Speaking of Barbara Corcoran, it's
Right.
Naples real estate, Naples, Florida, which
Yes.
is an hour south of here. I used to say it was 20 minutes to show off, but now it's a lot further to try to drive down there.
Mike,
By
I'm
time,
glad you're coming to terms with all the
Yeah.
lies.
yes, all the lies that I told about Florida.
Tapestry of lies.
It's really
It's 40,
close to
it's
the
40
Hamptons.
minutes. It's 40 minutes down the road, okay, from there. And there's a commercial that comes on TV. What's her name? Barbara Corcoran?
Barbara Corcoran.
And she comes on and she says,
I'd like to tell you about Jennifer. She's the best.
if you really. And meanwhile, next to her is the owner of this like local real estate, and she's going,
So is
And
your
it's
read
just
on
so-
it that the local person paid some exorbitant fee to get Barbara Corcoran to be the
No,
spokesman?
she's happy to be there.
It looks like she's there for like a seminar, and maybe they're friends or something. And it's Naples.
Naples that always sounds kind of like this. Hello.
There's one lady that comes on, and her son does
son,
laser
oh.
eye surgery,
Oh,
and she
no.
goes,
When I was ready to get my cataract surgery done, Dr. Franz was the only one I was going to use. Then why?
and then of course it has to come at the end of the commercial.
And why shouldn't I have used him? He's my son.
And then his giant head comes in and goes, "Thanks, Mom, Dad." I wouldn't let him near any eye, my itchy one or the ones I see through. That's for
Before
sure.
I started
swear
laser
to God.
surgery, I was a proctologist.
With that aim. What you should do,
the
should put
commercials down
together-
here are spectacular. They
You
really
should
are.
put together on your Facebook page. You should find these commercials on YouTube and spotlight them, and you could
Okay.
you could really make some people happy.
I'm going through the list now because they're all coming to mind. Okay, then there's another one.
Okay.
There's another one where there's a lady. She's older, and she says,
There's a common
I
theme
don't.
here.
And incidentally, I'm paraphrasing this.
This kitchen man's wife finally got a new kitchen.
And she sits there and goes, "No," and then he is. I swear to God, Rob, he's Orson Welles fat. He is 800
fantastic.
pounds, and he comes on and he says, Nothing's too good for my bride.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Kitchen Man! And it's this Cornerstone Kitchens, and they've got all the grandsons. They've got all the grandchildren that are there, and she's sitting, look at my new view. Thanks, Kitchen Man! And then at the end, they say, how does Grandma like her new kitchen? The kids go, great kitchen! And all the kids are screaming the same way. And the 400-pound man is sitting there, and he's got the fat man position with his hands.
Oh, yeah. He's resting.
this.
It's
Yeah,
over above his stomach.
We're just resting his hands on top, and he gives this look at the end. He goes, yeah, I'm going to remodel my kitchen with you, you douche. I'm gonna get that done right away. But
It'd be better if they were all the same person, like Don Knotts, who was playing the same character.
Well, I think they've all been born from Billy Fusillo, or Fusillo, as they pronounce the name. And he's now got a Hispanic lady working for him who translates on the cruise ship, and it's a
Mike,
thing
it's
of
the
beauty.
huge cruiser.
Still, huge cruiser. Still on my list to get Billy Fusillo. Somehow, like maybe I'd have to go to his dealership, but take a DAT recorder and do an interview with him. But
I don't know. He seems kind of shy.
Yeah, he's a very shy guy. We'll take a break. Come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
That way.
I want you to think about your cell phone bill. And what are we actually paying for? I'm Todd Moore. On December 22nd, Oscar Santana from Baltimore, Maryland, said he only paid $62 a month for a cell phone bill with unlimited data. Is that possible?
This is a Verizon LTE call from
Oscar Santana.
from Tech 411.
Yo, man, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. It's $62 a month. She gave me a great deal. I mean, she was nice to me.
So I looked at his bill, and it had that number on it, but it had a lot of other numbers, too. And what's up with that Nisha call on the next episode of Tech 411?
Yo, I'm a nice guy. I just wish people would listen to the show and subscribe on iTunes.
They worked
Wow.
so hard on that.
Oh my
If they put that much effort into the
wow.
show,
Wow. I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, that's
that's
terrific.
a spot-on parody of that Serial podcast. Is
Oh,
what that is.
okay. See, I'm not hip. I don't know that. I don't listen to
Oh,
Serial.
Mike, you would like that.
You would too.
I know
and
everybody tells me that.
Every episode of Serial is just a little shorter than that promo.
Yeah, I know. I really should listen to that Serial promo. I the Serial
Podcast, yes.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Mack Weldon. Men's underwear, essentially the same for 50 years. Mack Weldon decided they would upgrade your underwear drawer for 2015. Why don't you make a resolution to change your undies? Because the guys at Mack Weldon thought underwear could be made better, and they did it. An amazing fabric blend like no other. It holds its shape. It won't ride up. It has cool zones for added comfort. Every now and then, even we men will touch a certain fabric, and you'll say to yourself, wow,
yes,
they've really done something different. That's what they've done with Mack Weldon. You got to try this. Also, we talk about the socks all the time. We love them. MackWeldon.com has great multi-packs and starter kits, plus the best undershirts and socks you've ever worn. Here's a special deal just for our listeners. Go to MackWeldon.com, enter the code TMOS for $5 off, plus free expedited shipping on orders over $50. Buy more, save more. Remember that name, MackWeldon.com, MackWeldon.com, and we thank them for their business.
I'm sure
Yes,
that
sir.
Oscar is wearing his Mack Weldon right now to a fraternity party. I think he's pledging today. So, it's college Oscar.
College Oscar. He's off furthering his education. I think that's incredibly impressive.
He's wearing his
And-
big raccoon coat, and he's got
Yes.
a pennant that says college.
There we go, college. And he's where's he? Maryland? Is that where he is today?
Yeah, it's one of the Maryland schools. Yes, it's one of the,
One of.
it's the business school, and it's named after a guy. Is it like Robert Parker or something? The Robert Parker Business School. It is.
Richard Parker.
Richard Parker. Look up the business school.
Welcome to
Matt.
the Richard Parker. This is the Richard Parker Business School. I am so happy to see you. Let's welcome our incoming MBA students at the Richard Parker Business School. Oscar Santana is here. All right. enough.
He's got a big stack of textbooks and a tiger. But it's an esteemed business school at the University of Maryland. That's where.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We're here with Katie and Rob from Cake and Cookies, and we're glad to have you stop by, Katie. It's been too long. How
Thank
are
you
you?
for
Everything
having
going
me.
well? I'm so glad that you sold your house at a profit, and now you're moving to Savannah, Georgia.
Well,
That was
that's the plan. That is the plan.
10
Some people,
minutes.
it's tough. It's tough for some people, isn't it? When they sell their house in 30 hours.
It's incredible.
At an an exorbitant
It
profit.
was 36. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
So.
Okay.
You know what it is? I can speak to this having sold my house last year. I can talk about the fact that it's really a cruel, nasty game because the fact
worst.
It is.
We received a letter from someone who wanted to move back to the neighborhood, and we're incredibly lucky that we didn't have to put our house on the market. And somebody said, well, you don't get competitive bids. I went, well, we knew what the house was valued at. We knew what we wanted to sell it for, and we ended up, I think doing okay. Not fabulously well like Katie, but we did okay on our house. But the fact is that after the fact, and this, I'm just telling the truth here, you go on now and you can see the value and what people are paying for houses, and you can see the value of your house on things like Zillow and Realtor.com and places like that, and you can do it on a daily basis.
And you can make yourself nuts.
Everybody does the same thing. What did it go down by? It went down again. Yes, it went down again. And it's the cruelest, nastiest thing in the world when, you should leave your house and be like, so long, hope you have a nice run.
There's a
house.
parallel, and Julia is driving herself crazy, and I must say this because it's been addressed before. Mac, there is only 49 minutes left in the show. Don't eat Pringles. Wait until the show is over.
Is he eating?
Yes!
Is he eating? Lean over, boy. Lean over. You're eating?
Yeah.
Are you? Is your blood?
I had a rough morning.
Is your blood? I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. Is the blood? Is this the blood sugar? Is this a health-related eating thing? All right, go ahead.
Okay.
You can eat.
But
He can eat because it's his health.
Then don't eat like this then. It was like a commercial for Pringles.
He's going to start making the duck lips with his Pringles.
Everyone will
Showing
tell you
off.
I lack focus anyway. What I don't need is an eating seminar to my left. But back to the Zillow and tracking
Mac,
the,
you are eating. You are eating in front of a man of larger
sorry.
carriage. If Mr.
You're
Spiewak
lucky he
or
doesn't-
Mr. O'Mara is in the studio, it's probably not a good idea.
No.
He's just going to come right over the console.
I'm coming over the board. I'm coming over the board.
Rob, would you like to share our eating moment that we shared yesterday?
Oh, God. You made me
texting?
laugh out loud and made Carrie laugh out loud. I have the text right here, I believe. I texted Mike. I said, 10. We started a little early today. Those of you who are coming in right now and seeing the show in progress, you realize that. I said 10 a.m.
Sorry, Stephen Douglas.
What happened? He's on Zillow, Mike, right now, tracking the value of today's show.
That's right.
It just keeps going down.
Mike, I text Mike. It says 10 a.m. start is great. Katie is confirmed, and she will have a hateful thought if you like. By the way, I'm cooking corned beef. Jealous? And you said, immediately I get the 3 dots because I know he's texting back right away. He says, you have no idea how much I want that. ... Then you say, second, follow up the text. Cabbage? I say, yes, and red skin mashed potatoes, and carrots, and then a smiley face, and then all caps, effer.
I called Rob an effer.
And I wrote literal LOL, which was true.
Yeah, we. How was the corned beef? How did it come out?
It was so good. Everything was so good.
You didn't take it to the absolute fat guy thing, though. You didn't ask for a picture. So at that point, it's true.
It is.
You win.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Mike, we're baby stepping.
Really, I just went to Zillow, and I'm really sad now because
Why?
My house is worth more than I.
Well, you see, this is why you're driving yourself crazy the way Julia is. There is something in Loudoun County schools, and it's called clarity, which means that every no, I'm not talking about like the method of teaching. It's a program called Clarity. Every teacher's grade book is online. So any kid can go in and see exactly what their grade is at any time. I mean, down to the percentage point. Remember when you used to get your report card and it was some amount of excitement because you got to see what grade you got?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Any day now, Julia knows what her grade is, and the way her mind works. She was in a mood last night, and she was doing the math to figure out what she had to get on her next math quiz to keep her grade. She said, if I don't get an 82%, I'm going to drop down to a 79%. And I said, Julia, just go in and do your best. No matter how many times you figure out the numbers, It's always going to be the same. Just go in and do your best. But with giving them the access to all this stuff, they look at it every day, and it drives the kids nuts. I think it's okay for the parents to have access to it, but I think it's weird to let the kids go through that kind of pressure. It is a lot of pressure.
You know what a lot of pressure is to me, kids? Can I tell you what a lot of pressure is for me, believe it or not? And, down here, I'll be the first one to tell you that I am thrilled with my life down here. I truly am. I enjoy the rhythm down here. I bitch about the land of the entitled, but, all in all, it's a really wonderful place to be. And I like the rhythm, and I like my next-door neighbors. Got a chance to see him over the weekend. And I've got some friends down here, and it's getting better and better. I like it down here. However, I did mention to you guys the land of the entitled.
Yeah.
And I think really, if you really look at it, there are lots of places where people are entitled. I think we are entitled as a people.
Yeah.
I really think that
I think the entire nation, I think Americans, we feel more entitled now than ever before.
I think so, and it's there is a blockbuster this weekend. The movie American Sniper was just shattered records, and I should have probably known this when I decided that Carl and I, because we had a sitter, would attend the 6:30 Saturday night showing of American Sniper in the movie house, and we rolled in there at 6:15. Not because
same babysitter as always.
Same babysitter,
Okay, good,
wonderful babysitter,
Good.
and we a babysitter that's not one of these kids that sits there and drinks diet soda and watches TV, but actually comes from kind of an educational background, and so
excellent.
We'll come home and she shows us. She takes out the iPad and she says, "Hey, look at this," and when she plays it, and she says, "Say yogurt," and my son goes, "Go-gurt."
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great.
And she said, and then he turned away and went back to doing what he was doing and pushed me away and pushed the iPad away. But she's very cool, and it's a lot of fun. And
it
we love
doesn't
her
matter
to
that
death.
all the silverware is missing because now he knows how to say yogurt.
So we go to this theater at 6:15 because we grabbed a quick bite, and then we ran over there, and I realized that I never do the opening weekend. I don't do the blockbusters.
You haven't done that ever.
Yeah, and I just, I was curious about the Clint Eastwood movie with Bradley Cooper, getting the nomination and everything, so we roll in 6:15. We were not a minute later than 6:15 for a 6:30 show, and a 6:30 show means the movie's going to start at 10 of 7.
Right.
So that's how far away we are from the actual start time, and we walk in, and I should have, the theater, there are maybe 8 or 9 areas of the entire theater where there are 2 seats next to each other. That's how packed this was.
That
at
early?
6:15. I have never.
Wow.
I have never been in a
Power
movie
of word
theater.
of mouth, man. That's word of mouth.
It's been decades since I've been in a theater that was this kind of crowded. The kind of crowded where you get a little bit edgy. You get a little bit nervous because it's that crowded. And, one of the things Don used to go to movies all the time, and Don used to always say there was a talker next to him. And I would say that I'm probably about 1 out of 20 movie visits that I say I'll get a talker, and I realize why. Don used to go to first-run films all the time.
Opening
he used
weekend,
to go to
yep.
sold-out theaters all the time. I am realizing when, your odds simply increase when you go into the crowded movie house.
And you're literally and physically closer to people.
Yes.
So when they're talking, it's not a big deal if they're 5 rows away, but if you're next to them,
Right.
then it's going to be a something.
I was telling Katie earlier that I fancy myself as somebody who has returned to going to regular church services. I try to better myself. I'm trying to think better about my fellow man. Absolutely spectacular sermon by our pastor James yesterday about
Love him.
About not complaining about people and seeing the good in people and everything. And
Took it to heart.
No, it was Saturday night, so I hadn't done it the night before.
Oh, okay.
So we get in there. Carla, we do a little drill where Carla's going to go potty, and I'm going to go up to find us the theater seat. So I immediately go into my defensive crouch of panic mode when I see, there are only several places where. Now, there's enough variety where I can pick, but they're all down front, of course, because the back area of the theater is filled up.
Ideally, if you were to go into an empty theater, if you were the first one there, where would you sit?
Well, it's hard to describe in theaters today, Rob, because they're all kind of stacked. But I would say, ideally now, if I'm going into an empty theater,
Right.
I'm going to go to the middle of the upper section, in the middle of that section.
Perfect.
That's
I know
where
exactly
would
what you
like to
mean.
sit.
Like if it's stadium seating, you're
to get the
dead
'cause,
center.
with the surround sound and everything, you want to get
Nice.
the full experience. Well, I don't have a prayer of doing this. These seats have been taken, but I see about 8 rows up. I see There's a full row with 2 empty seats that are 4 from the end, and I think
Not
it's going to
bad.
be perfect. So yeah, not bad at all. So
And you're dedicated to sitting next to Carla. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah. Anybody want to sit next to this lady? I'll take front row center. All right, anyway, we'll take a break, and I will tell you about. I'm not sure. I don't want to make this an ethnic thing, the ethnicity, but maybe I'll do it through music when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I have a dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. My blinds are 140 years old.
Oh, no.
And, I got those plantation shutters from
Yes.
Blinds.com. I am going to be calling Blinds.com and getting my new blinds because I was measuring to get the measurements to Blinds.com.
Right.
And realized that I didn't care for my blinds. And my blinds are so flimsy that I sort of tugged at them. And then it just went... So there is a large chunk of my bedroom now where if anybody
Sun's
might
up,
be,
time to wake up.
Hey golfers, balls on chin.
If you're wearing
there's
that
only-
shirt, it's hard to figure out when the sun's up, too.
Thanks for the yellow shirt. I appreciate that. Yes,
It's bright.
It's rather bright. Well, it's athletic wear. Anyway.
So everyone can see you.
Yes, sir. Get a designer look on a budget. I'm going back to Blinds.com. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Blinds.com offers blinds, shutters, draperies, much more. Top brands, Bally, Graber, Levelor, Norman. I installed my own shutters. I will be installing my own blinds, and
It's
I will be
easy.
telling you all about it. Their Sure Fit guarantee means that installation is always a snap, even if you measure wrong. Blinds.com will send you free samples, so color selection is easy, and there's even an app so you can see your new windows virtually. So cool. Right now, Blinds.com, making it easier to keep your New Year's resolution, at least the in with the new part. Stick to your New Year's budget with 15 to 25% off of popular products. Get geeky with cool remote-controlled blinds and shades, and sleep better on the weekends with blackout shades and drapes. And if you're not satisfied, there's always a 30-day money-back guarantee. Blinds.com, as seen in Mike O'Mara's kitchen and soon to be Mike O'Mara's bedroom. I'm looking forward to that.
What are you going to do with until you get the? I mean, it'll take a couple days for the blinds to get there. Are you going to put up a sheet or a towel or something?
The looking in, because I play a lot of golf here during the day.
Yeah.
Looking in is. First of all, there's nobody out there at night because there's a golf course and a tree line and a fence, so
Yeah.
there's nobody.
Putting at
at least
night.
nobody, I think.
Night putting.
Night putting. If anybody's doing the night putting out
With
there,
the
they're
neon
gonna,
golf balls.
Exactly.
and, when I
Glow
drive
in the
by
dark.
during the day, I have to actually squint to see if there's an outline of a person, so because I can't see it.
Okay,
So-
good.
So we're okay.
Okay, good.
We're okay with that. I think it's right. Getting back to the movie theater. So Carla's going to Potty Town. I decide I'm going to pick the seats. As I get to the 8th row and I'm turning in, there's a man that's on the end of the aisle, and then to his immediate left is a woman who appears to be cold in some way, even though it's not cold at all in this theater. And she's splayed herself out, and she is bundled up, and she's wrapped in she has her purse sitting on her chest, and she appears to be a coat on, which is weird down here.
Right.
I didn't even, I
Age.
could.
How old was she?
Probably late 60s, early 70s.
Was there an Afghan?
And it was not an Afghan. It was just a coat.
Okay.
And she appears that perhaps, I don't know, perhaps she was one of Oscar's people. I'm not sure. But I don't know because I'm not going to label her as Hispanic because I don't know because I never actually looked at her.
Do you think
all
that
I
the
did
coat-
was see her and then what's that?
The coat is obviously out of place. Was it used maybe to smuggle in snacks?
I have no because there was no crunching, which really to me crunching would have been worse than what they ended up doing.
Oh,
so but here's the start. There, I say excuse me with a smile. I look down at them and she goes, ugh. And she moves.
Wow. Based on excuse me?
Based on me making her fat ass move in the theater seat, and I go back down. And this time, I was originally going to sit next to the guy 2 seats over, but no, this time, the big man. She's not going to get Carla. She's going to get me, and I plop down right next to her, and I get another.
Is this like the entitled thing again?
This is I'm not quite sure what this is, Katie,
Okay.
but I'll tell you how it that one thing alone, I'm over it. Almost as soon as the trailers start, I could care less. Yeah, you were annoyed that everybody gets annoyed when you come into a movie. But the movie's 50 minutes away, and I don't understand why she's reacting like that. What I didn't like was the fact that I got that reaction, and then that magnified what happened later.
Okay.
And what happened later was they were movie talkers.
Oh.
And they were movie talkers in a foreign language. Oh. And I wish I could tell you what the language was, but they were movie talkers who I looked over at Carla probably during the entire film, probably 3 times, maybe 4, but I think more like 3 times where Carla looked at me and said, "No, don't.
Oh, no.
Don't
You were
do it.
sizzling
Don't
like that.
Well, no, they were effing talking. You go into a modern cinema now, and there are 15 commercials that tell you not to talk.
Don't talk, right.
You don't talk. Well, first of all, in a crowded movie, and we are just such low IQs, everybody is flapping their gums. And it's just, shut the hell up. And by the way, this was I'll give you a review later about the movie, what I really thought. But, it was a pretty well-crafted, pretty heavy story. But the fact is, I think, based on the trailers that I saw leading up to that's how I measure the movie I'm in.
Yeah.
By the trailers they show. The following has been approved by the Motion Picture Association of America to be shown as a preview with this movie, with this feature. And they put the dumb trailers on. And usually I go, why are all the idiot trailers on? And all the idiot trailers are the explosion movies. I call them the explosion movies. Transformers 20, This Week in Hugh Jackman, whatever the effing movie is.
Iron Man
it's
30.
Just with all the, that kind of crap.
A lot of
that's
comic book action, Mike.
A lot of Vin Diesel, a lot of comic book action. There's another
Marvel.
There's another Tarantula Man coming or whatever the hell it's going to be.
I hate Tarantula Man.
So they're all doing their thing, and then I realized, okay, this isn't people. Look, I'm not going to judge what's in people's minds, but these aren't people that have come to see a sensitive story about one man's struggle, which I find, PTSD and the Iraq-Afghanistan experience, I find absolutely an amazingly compelling subject matter because it's so recent in our history, and we have men coming back that have dealt with this, and so that's kind of my reason for being curious about this. But no, I realize that the reason maybe this theater was it's shoot 'em up, sniper, blow 'em away, and probably the reaction that I got in the theater would cement that to a certain extent. But the second thing that happened in this movie, I had the lady first that goes like that.
Right.
Carla finally sits down, and suddenly I get breath. And it's not Carla.
Okay.
It's coming from around me. It's breath. It's bad breath. It's bad breath that you can smell from a distance. That kind of bad breath. And when you can smell bad breath from a distance, you're talking about really, really bad breath.
Didn't we used to call it engineer breath?
Engineer breath. That's what we called it at the old.
I'd forgotten about it.
We've had the pleasure of working, Mike, with some of the greatest mechanical minds and radio engineers.
Couldn't offer a toothbrush to save their
that's right.
life.
See, dental floss has no transistors, so it offered them very little excitement.
Oh my God!
dear.
And it was just there. And Carla will tell you, I've got a ridiculously sensitive nose. I can find dog poo and you know this, Rob, in any room in the house.
Oh, then you mustn't come to my house.
I could find dog poo in a neighbor's house. That's how good I've got the good nose.
Yeah,
I've got
you do.
all the factories are doing it. So the fact is, I just get a touch of it, and this is before the movie starts, and I'm like, as soon as I got the first waft, I get obsessed with it.
Of course. Now,
I get, where's it coming from? Who's doing it? Who's the pig that's doing this?
This is perhaps too specific for some people, but I know this is a question that will suit you.
Yes.
Can you qualify the bad breath? Because sometimes it's like there is a garlic breath. This is
rotted food matter.
This is rotted food matter.
Yeah.
Okay, well at least it's
This
not
is
like
rotted food matter.
The worst is always a bad tooth.
Well, the fact is, rotted food matter, Rob, and a bad tooth are one and the same.
They are.
Actually.
They're
So
very close.
You'll get the same rotting odor, but it is that rotten smell.
Yes,
that,
okay, I'm with you.
There's not. This is not food that you get. And incidentally, I can actually categorize the bad breaths that you can get.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you get sick breath, which is a terrible breath.
Yeah, comes
that's
from a
if
lot
you've
of
been
mouth
ill.
breathing.
Yeah, a lot of mouth breathing, and you get cold breath, sick breath. It's a nasty breath. Very, very nasty breath.
Oh.
Very dry, and it smells like death. It smells like you're going to die.
Complicated.
If you
Yeah, mouth breathing and vomiting together. That's the hat trick.
Well, that's easy. That's almost too easy. And if you're on the receiving end of vomit breath, if you're on the receiving if you are on the receiving end of vomit breath, that's just a bad scene.
That is a bad scene, Daddy-O.
And by the way, and if you're on the receiving end of vomit breath in an intimate situation, might as well just that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate. Hi, dear. How are you? How are you, dear?
Someone sleeping on the couch.
Not tonight.
Let me see if we can categorize that. There's sick breath, but I use the cold sick breath. That's what you get.
I'm
Then
with
you have what I'd like to describe as. I don't want to get in trouble. This is dangerous. Ethnic food breath.
Oh, it has to do with exotic spicing of food.
Exotic spicing from different areas of the world where you get the food smell. Then you get food breath, which can be onions, can be anything that anybody is. And you usually sometimes food breath can be the result of acid reflux as well.
It can be.
Which is,
it can be.
Not a pleasant. And then you get bad teeth and rotten teeth combined with rotted food breath, which is simply neglect, and that's the worst breath of all. Yes, Katie. Yes.
Medicine breath is a bad one too.
Medicine breath is medicine breath is usually
antibiotics.
Medicine breath can sometimes be a result of sick breath too. So you're on the medicine because but you get even a mouthwash like a Listerine Total Care can result in a nasty little moment, which sometimes is unpleasant.
And another
I know
coloration
it's supposed to be pleasant.
is a good hangover breath too. Especially if you're hitting brown
well,
liquor.
Rob Spiewak, I have actually been very self-conscious about hangover breath, where I don't want people to smell the alcohol, but I think that the big myth about that is that the alcohol smell comes out of your pores.
Yes.
Well, once you hit a certain level, it does.
Yes,
yeah.
it comes out of your
when
pores.
You're sweating pure alcohol.
Pure alcohol.
You've had an evening.
Yeah.
That's true.
There are many people, Mike, a major percentage of the world that would never get to that level. I think everyone in this room has, but
absolutely multiples for
Not
me.
me.
Oh wow!
Never.
But it's terrible. So I finally realized that the rotted food and very faint, because the breathing I think is a little shallow. And it is.
But you know what? It's almost worse. I would say for you and your blessed nose, it's
Right.
almost worse if it's faint, because
Right.
then it makes it hard.
It is.
to find it.
But
it's
I
a
move by that.
mystery.
I move by that. What I don't move by is the fact that throughout the movie, Ludmilla or Maria or whatever her name was, whatever
Ludmilla.
ethnicity she was, whatever country she was from, appeared to have the better grasp of the English language. It was translating or communicating with her husband. And then I would hear sporadic English, too. So I didn't – it was such a whisper, but it was like – and I'm looking over at Carl. I'm like, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill them right here. And it happened 20 times during the movie.
Do you think she was translating for Hector?
It was at a low enough level. It was they do it all the time. Those pricks. They do it all the time, and they were doing it at a low enough level where it was just enough to where I would have been the a-hole, or I risked a chance of being the a-hole, so I couldn't do it. And that was, my hands were cuffed. They were right next to me, and my hands were
Could you have
cuffed.
tried to very nicely shush them in Spanish?
Silencio!
Écoutez, silencio.
Silencio, por favor! Silencio!
Now, I know
I
you
don't wanna
had
do that.
one time a bad experience at the Alamo Draft House, that movie theater in Loudoun County. But do you know how they
Worst ever.
Yeah, but do you know how they handle talkers there? They could have solved your problem.
How so?
Because you order food throughout the movie by writing what you want, or a drink, sometimes many drinks. You write what you want on a piece of paper.
Yeah, the last one I saw there was The Lone Survivor. I guess I like sniper movies.
I guess
Jesus,
you do.
What's wrong with me?
But you put that
No, I
little
like
piece
Army
of paper.
movies like everybody.
You put that little piece of paper in the railing in front of you, and then the waitress or waiter comes by and grabs it and brings you your drink. You can write, "Person in seat 7 is talking."
They encourage tattling.
They want you to tattle on them, and you could have handled that at this place.
I should have.
But you see, the problem is that you would have been so easily pegged because you would have had to get up and go buy them again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
you really
Right.
can't tattle in that situation.
Well, it went on, and I think towards the end of the movie, the simple dramatic impact of the film itself, and it's a very, very good movie. I'll get to the review in a second here. Was such that I moved past it, but it just was. I don't know. I overthink. I think like ridiculously about people, and it's stupid, and I shouldn't do this. And all I found myself
Did you
doing
give them
during
a backstory?
The whole time in that movie, I was saying to myself, American Sniper. I was just really, really hoping that people were watching that movie for the right reasons, and I'm not quite sure we're there. I think that there are a lot of people that some of the lack of political influence is lost on people that went to see that movie. With that said, Michael Moore, noted fat liberal, came out and was talking about the fact that he dissed the movie. He dissed snipers, and he called snipers cowards. And the fact is, Michael Moore is entitled to his opinion. It's a free country. But the fact is, this movie, I didn't find this movie to be all that political. I found this movie to be just the story of one guy. And even if you're going to get political, I've never believed that you get political on the backs of our warriors, of our guys that are going over there putting their ass on the front lines, especially our special services warriors, our SEALs, our Rangers, our people that do that. And so Michael Moore was talking, I won't even justify what he said with quoting him, but it was dissing snipers because apparently a relative of his was killed by a sniper, and it's ridiculous and it's angry. But I understand what lights Michael Moore's candle, and what lights Michael Moore's candle is that he gets into an environment like this with this movie, and I think Michael Moore thinks that we're glorifying this. I think if you look beyond this movie, American Sniper, it necessarily does not glorify war. It shows you, in my opinion, how insane war is.
You know what it says to me?
Completely insane war is.
What it really resonates when you said that the kind of trailer that they paired with this movie. And if you really do, and I realize this from having to go to so many kids movies. All I see are trailers for kids movies because they're trying to sell to their target demographic. This looks to me like this has been mishandled by the marketing at the studio.
Well, nothing's been mishandled by American Sniper because this movie is shattered box office.
Yeah, but I'm saying
records,
maybe early on when they're starting to pair it with how they're going to position it. Before it had the amazing weekend,
I think it's a shoot 'em up. It's a shoot 'em up. It's like a Western. It's like what people want to go see.
All right,
and a lot of people are in there for that reason. It was a powerful movie. Bradley Cooper transforms himself. It's great. I recommend the movie. I think it was a good movie. But politically, you do. When people cheer when someone is killed in a movie, I've always found it a weird experience. I've always found it very, very weird. And I think that...
Unless it's Hitler, and then it's okay.
There she goes again. Always with the Hitler.
It's Hitler. It's always Hitler with you, isn't it?
What? No.
So it was good. It was a good movie. And then
does it force you to think, or is it more of a one-sided shoot 'em up?
That's pretty straightforward. I mean, this guy. Look, the fact is, these poor guys that do this, I don't care how tough they are, they put themselves not only in danger physically, but the mental damage that is done.
Right.
I think this movie is a phenomenal example of what is done to people mentally when they go over there. And it's horrible. It's horrible what these poor guys come back because they're thrust into this nightmare. And I thought, as much as you can make all the jokes you want about Clint Eastwood, I thought it's a pretty good movie. And I thought
more so, what's horrible is how badly we treat our veterans.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll sell out a movie about American Sniper, but we won't,
won't
be
give them
aware
a penny
of what our VA is doing. We just want to cut. It sucks. And but it's a story of an American hero, and
true story, right?
True story about a guy, and I recommend the movie. I think it was really
Carla hates
worth
going to the movies.
checking out.
What did she think of it?
She loved it. She loved
really?
the movie.
That's great.
Yeah, absolutely
okay,
loved it.
Two thumbs up.
Well, in Carla's case, when she goes to see a movie like this, it's always somebody that's on screen that realizes that her husband is such an incredible pussy. Really, exactly what it is. We'll take a break. Come back with news you may not need on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hi, I'm Tony Perkins.
Hi, I'm Cake.
Listen, no, you're not. But that's why we're here.
For cake?
Yeah, not for cake, but to promote Cake and Cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic podcast.
It's a great podcast.
It features Rob Spiewak, Katie. Does Katie have a last name?
Von Herman.
Oh, Shinazi?
Well, I would have said that.
Check it out. It's Cake and Cookies right here on the More Broadcasting Network.
Even more.
Cake and Cookies. Rob and Katie. It's the Rob and Katie Show.
Funny boys.
I love having certain personalities promote other personalities.
You're
going to
hear a lot of that this week, Mike.
Katie, you know your way around a kitchen. Your mama taught you, right? You
Good
like to cook.
Yes.
Have you ever heard about Blue Apron, our new sponsor that we've got on the Mike O'Mara Show? Blue Apron. Oscar apparently was pretty hip to him for a long time.
Yeah. Go ahead. Talk to me.
It's really, really cool. BlueApron.com. Carl and I got this box about 3 weeks ago. She made paella and then a chicken and mushroom casserole that was the most amazing thing. They send you all the ingredients that are top shelf ingredients, like the produce, the protein, the spices, the seasonings you need. It's all in the box. It's all ready to go. It's all fresh. And all you do is assemble it. It's the most amazing thing in the world. They deliver fresh, locally sourced ingredients straight to your door. The prep is a cinch. Step-by-step recipe cards. You learn to cook while saving. I got one of the recipe cards over here.
Oh, cool. Show and
Let me show
tell.
you visual aids. There you go. There it is. There's one of them.
Oh,
What's this
wow.
here?
It's got pictures
Southern,
of everything.
When you move to Savannah, I would recommend, Katie Powell's Von Herman, that you try the Southern beef and collard greens stew.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
With
There you
cheddar
go.
grits, I'm in.
Yes. With
baby.
cheddar grits, and they do it all. Look, they make it idiot-proof.
Yep.
And then they show you how to make each step, and I'll tell you something, the food is fantastic. Blue Apron right now is offering our listeners 2 free meals in their first week of Boxo Meals. Just pick your plan to enjoy this offer, $9.99 per meal for 2 people or $8.74 per meal for families. Just visit blueapron.com. That's blueapron.com/TMOS, and the offer automatically will be applied before checkout. That is blueapron.com/TMOS, and we thank you.
I have a couple questions about this. This has piqued my interest.
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, so does the spices, everything comes with it?
Yes.
Yes.
So
And it's pre-measured.
And that's the price?
Yes, that is the price.
That's
yes,
cheaper than going to the grocery store.
Much cheaper.
There it is, Katie. That's why you can come back anytime.
News.
Thank you very much.
No, really, that's crazy.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Man, I will be really, 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 really happy when I do not have to mention this man's name on the news anymore, but I got to put it in here. Bill Cosby.
Oh, boy.
Get ready for this. He was embraced by fans on Sunday during his first performance in California since allegations of past sexual assault surfaced. The Modesto Bee
Wow. Really?
reports that Cosby was greeted warmly and left with a standing ovation.
Wow.
At Turlock Community Theater.
Wow. That is the paper of record in that region. It is
Yes, it is.
Modesto Bee, Mike.
We have lots of listeners out there. Only one protester showed up to Cosby's comedy tour stop in Central California.
Wow.
I understand innocent until proven guilty, but people who are continuing to support this man are disgusting.
It's troubling is what it is.
Well, I said this last week. I really do hope that there is some sort of closure for people. And the only way that's going to happen is court. Now, they are saying that, is it Chloe Goines, the latest person that might be able to get him into a courtroom? They're saying that Cosby's lawyer said he wasn't even at the Playboy Mansion when the allegations occurred. So, that might not be the one. When you have this many people coming forward, I think inevitably you are going to have a risk of maybe one or two of them being non-legit. But I don't know.
The consistency, and I've said this before, all the stories are so consistent, but I won't believe anything until I read it in the Modesto Bee.
There you go. It's very sad. It's sad, the quote is here, "I am very disappointed there aren't more people, but someone has to stand up, so I came," said Suzette Sims, 51, who came with a sign that read, "I believe the women." She was the lone protester that showed up for that. And my point I'm trying to make here is not that I don't know who's telling what the total truth is. I'm saying if by some chance a woman made these allegations and they were proven false, that could damage all these other women.
Of course.
So I hope people are careful about that. Nick Cannon officially filed for divorce from Mariah Carey on December 12th. But the news just broke on Friday, along with a few other details. First of all, when they got together, Mariah was worth around $150 million.
Wow.
Would you like to know what Nick brought to the marriage?
It was a cat and a car,
Suffering.
wasn't it?
Nick brought less than $500,000 to the table, I guess, from his movies that he made a couple of movies.
Sure.
He's made several million since then, but at least some of that probably happened because he was Mr. Mariah Carey.
Yes, of course.
We don't know how they settled things, but they did have a prenup. There's also a confidentiality clause. Mariah has to pay $500,000 if she violates it, while Nick only has to fork over $250K, probably because he was worth so much less when it was written. So who knows?
There's,
but,
I
there
understand
we go.
one thing that did leak is there's shared custody of the eclairs.
Long
you.
suffering Nick
Yeah.
Cannon.
Mac, how are you feeling, by the way? Did you get all those Pringles into your body?
I'm better.
Yeah, if you want to feel better, maybe Pringles maybe not the first choice. Just to
Well, I mean, if you really want to raise your blood sugar, go salty.
It's blood pressure.
Oh. Blood
really?
pressure?
Okay, then.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, how about he showed you, Rob?
Can we? Yeah, he did. I'm glad he's here. Thanks
Always
for
a
making the
great
ride.
energy in the room. Always a great energy in the
You know
room
what's
when Mac is
amazing?
here.
He raises my blood pressure too.
I know he does.
Yeah, he does.
If you don't follow Gary Busey on Twitter, you're missing out because he doles out all kinds of inspirational messages. Little bits of wisdom and odd, deep thoughts. We have been a fan of this man. Incidentally, the Amazon
the seashell
commercial.
won't work with my TV.
That is that not? I think that's
Perfect.
probably my favorite commercial right now. I think that is absolutely the greatest
I
commercial
stop
that's out
fast
there.
forwarding the DVR when that commercial comes in. I watch it
Yep.
every time. Every
Absolutely.
time. So good.
In my other hand is a seashell. And it's not going unnoticed. E-News just put out a list called 10 Gary Busey tweets that would make great fortune cookies.
Oh, cool. This is great.
It's pretty awesome. Here are how they're selected. Number 1, the worst thing you can ever eat is the left foot of a right-footed mountain turtle.
What?
That's Gary Busey. Number 2, it's what you choose to be busy in that makes your life full or empty. Number 3, when lightning strikes, wear it.
What does that
number
even
4,
mean?
your talent is beyond everything you know. Number 5, when you smell like part of your hamburger, it tastes better. That's pretty nasty.
That is
When you smell like part of your hamburger, it tastes better.
That's grosser than anything you said in that movie story.
Yeah.
Wow. Number 6,
Yeah.
this couch in every direction is Excalibur. That's so weird.
What?
Only 3 more. Number 7, think less and you will experience more. I might agree with that. Number 8,
Not bad.
the circle of communication is invisible, but it's not unseen or unheard. Number 9, when you are on the ground, jump high. You'll hit the sky and bounce back to the ground. And number 10,
Yeah.
wherever you are planted is where you grow. There we go, Gary. Thank you.
I don't know if I feel dumber or smarter.
I love that man. I really do. We need people like that.
We do.
Bradley Cooper's Oscar-nominated movie American Sniper expanded to over 3,500 theaters this weekend, and after 3 weeks in limited release, it took everyone by surprise, coming out strong with $30 million on its first day and a haul of, you ready for this, $90.2 million for the weekend. That's incredible. That puts
Wow.
American Sniper at number 40 for the best opening weekend of all time. Makes it the highest grossing Best Picture nominee this year and puts Mark Wahlberg's Lone Survivor to shame, beating Marky Mark's opening weekend by $50 million. Meanwhile, Kevin Hart's Best Man comedy, The Wedding Ringer, had a solid opening in second place with $21 million, followed by Paddington in third. Chris Hemsworth's cyber terrorist thriller Black Hat tanked at number 10 with $4 million.
Speaking of Kevin Hart, did you watch the Laugh List Saturday Night Live?
The only part I watched was when I saw the Today Show today mention the Kate McKinnon bit on Justin Bieber, and I went back and I watched it, and I see they led with Keenan
Yes.
doing Dr. Martin Luther King. Incidentally, we should take a pause. This is a holiday for most of the country, and we are here, but not out of disrespect. We are here to mention that this is Martin Luther King's birthday holiday today, so take pause and think about that great man. Saturday Night Live, just not funny at all, right?
No, it was a struggle to get through. And when they couple that with a weird singer, I can't do it. I can't do it. Guys,
Right.
try harder for us, please.
Yep, exactly. And, well, we're running late. Let's get right to it now. A little something. A 17-year-old kid was busted last week for spending the past month successfully impersonating a doctor at St. Mary's Medical Center. And where did he do it? West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you very much. Yeah, of course.
Your
It had to be. It had to be. The kid has been wandering around the hospital wearing a white lab coat, scrubs, and a stethoscope.
Did he
and
go
introducing
by
it.
Doogie?
What's that?
Did he call
What?
himself Doogie?
Oh, see, that's what new guests come in. They give me the kicker. Thank you very
I'm
much.
so
That's
sorry.
good.
I'm
That's
so
all right,
sorry.
Katie. As far as we know, he didn't actually do anything to patients, although when he was busted, he was in an exam room while a real doctor examined a patient. He was only caught when a patient noticed that he looked like a kid and told a security guard. Hospital officials and the cops wound up not pressing charges against the kid. His mother told them that he's now, quote, under the care of his own doctor.
How do you not get in trouble for that?
I don't know.
Dude, he
I
is
don't know.
so grounded.
Well, that's cool. And the good news is he has also been named as this year's host of the Tony Awards. So there we go. But two people said Doogie before that, so I really didn't have much of a chance.
sorry.
But that's all right, Katie. You're not a regular person on the show, so you'd learn that if
Nor will
it's a
I
manual.
ever be.
We put a manual out, and that's what it says. Please don't F with the kicker. But that's all right. We'll take a break and come back with more fun and more thrills. The Audio Vault with Rob Spivak right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Listen to Americast and get caught up on all the shows of More Broadcasting, like this clip from The Rob and Joe Show.
We are experiencing audio difficulties from our local program. No adjustment of your set is necessary.
Subscribe on iTunes or download it from MikeOMaraShow.com every Monday right here on the More Broadcasting Network.
He's funny.
Wow. Thank you, Marcus. That is funny. We appreciate that. Welcome back to the show. Hey, it's our 2015 bonus show packages. The new year is here. It's best to make a better you right now. They say laughter is the best medicine. So why not make a resolution to laugh more in the new year? This is the time of year we really want you to support us with your purchase of the 2015 bonus show packages. For the love of God,
Please.
we do them. We do them every week. Why don't you buy them for us, please?
Please.
You are, but we want you to do it more. All the dazzling info is waiting for you at MikeOMaraShow.com. Click the banner marked TMOS bonus packages. The TMOS bonus packages, so go get them and get ready to laugh all year long. Without further ado, let's open up the Audio Vault for Monday, Jan 19 already?
Already?
Just 2 weeks from the Super Bowl. Or the big game.
It's the big
Sorry,
game.
the big game. Sorry, NFL, FU, NFL, F.
And you know what? Now that the teams have been chosen, Jimmy is starting to post his specials for the Super Bowl party. Lobster rolls, Mike.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Thought of you instantly.
Mike just got
Excuse me.
real fast.
Can you say that again, please?
Lobster roll.
Lobster roll. Oh, wow.
You
Lobster
mentioned
rolls.
actually, speaking of football, at the front of the game or at the front of the show rather, you don't like when the players win and yell. Here is
Yeah.
a great screaming player who got a great cuss word on the air on sports radio out there in Seattle.
Okay.
His name is, let me find him, Doug Baldwin. He is a wide receiver for the Seahawks. He seems, Mike, Doug is excited.
Doug, I can hardly catch my breath. I don't know how you caught that, but what was Russell's message before that drive? Because he didn't have a message. He didn't have a message. We go out there, we do what we do. Jermaine Kearse has joined Doug. You can tell, pardon the language, it is extremely emotional down here.
You see, I've got a soft spot in my heart for sports radio because it's treated me so well. And that's why I love that clip. But let's talk about a sports story that no one is talking about, Mike.
Okay.
Drunk Robert Allenby, not Appleby.
Yeah, this is. I'm
sure
so
he
glad you
spent
brought
his
this
share
up.
of
Yeah.
time at an Applebee's.
Right.
He's in Hawaii.
Allenby, not Appleby. Thank you.
Forgive me, Robert Allenby. He was at. He's playing in Hawaii. It's the Sony Open, I think.
Yeah, he's the Sony Open. Great golf tournament out here in Wailea, and he misses the cut. He actually misses the cut.
If you miss the cut on Friday, you're off, right?
You're off, and if you're depressed about missing the cut, you might want to go to a bar
And he goes
or a wine bar.
He goes to a wine bar. He was assaulted. Here is Mr. Allenby.
I'm just very thankful that I'm alive. I've watched Taken and Taken 2 a few times, and it's kind of like a spitting image.
On Friday, Allenby failed to move on in the Sony Open golf tournament. That night, he says he was at a wine bar in Honolulu, got separated from his caddy and a friend, and that's all he remembers.
Oh, dear.
2.5 hours later, I woke up on the street. 2 homeless guys were kicking on me. I don't know if they were just trying to see if I was alive or what.
a homeless lady told him he was thrown out of a trunk of a car.
Yeah. This is really weird
Cheer up,
because
Katie.
he's getting bashed. Katie's laughing her ass off. He's getting bashed on social media, and I feel bad for the guy if
Because
this
he
really
really
went
is
down.
beaten up.
He's
I mean,
beaten up, but
really,
you know,
his face is a mess.
I've seen those facial markings; those can occur with a nasty fall as well. But the fact is, we got to find. I'd like to find out more, and hopefully, people will get to the bottom
They
of this.
forgot to mention he was covered in glitter and smelled like coconut.
Wow, that's good. Move on, Rob. I can't beat that.
No one can. Mike,
Wow.
do you think?
Covered in glitter and smelled like coconut. It's the line of the show, and it came right at the end. That's fantastic.
The Fox Business Channel is stupid. Did you know this? They ran a
What,
story
coconut
over the
glitter?
weekend.
What? I'm sorry.
Wait,
I can't
coconut
remember.
glitter. That's
I'm
you,
sorry,
baby.
yes. Yeah,
the
go
Fox
ahead.
Business Channel is stupid. Listen to this story talking about dwindling attendance at the Super Bowl.
The NFL Conference Championship games are here. A new report says that the NFL is already preparing for record low attendance at the Super Bowl next month. Liz McDonald is in the Business Center with Patterson. Liz.
Okay, and then they swoosh and they talk about it. What they failed to mention in the entire story is that the Super Bowl sells out every year. The attendance is determined by the size of the stadium. Bigger stadiums have bigger attendance. Smaller stadiums have smaller attendance.
Wow.
They are in Arizona this year. It's going to
Wow.
be smaller because there's 20,000 less seats.
Oh, my God.
Fox
Duh.
Business. That's where you get your news, baby.
Duh.
But here, let's talk about something you and I both love, musicals. Based on the success of Peter Pan
Yes.
and The Sound of Music,
Yes,
Fox
indeed.
is doing a live musical version of Grease, and it's cast Vanessa Hudgens and Julianne. Is it Huff or Ho?
I don't know.
From
Huff.
Huff, maybe, I don't know. From Glee, but anyway,
the
so
GH is pronounced Huff.
so it's Huff, Julianne
Wait,
Huff.
don't you mean Leah? Not Juliana Huff. You mean Leah?
No, Julianne Huff and Vanessa Hudgens have been cast. Those are the only people that have been cast so far. But yes, more live music on television as we take industry back 60 years. I hope it sucks like
Yay.
Peter Pan.
I will.
Did you see
And Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music looked like a masterpiece, Nick.
Yes, Sound of Music, if you add all the sucky ones up on the sucky scale, because it was sucky, don't make a...
Right.
But Sound of Music was the best sucky one so far.
It sucked the
Between
least.
Peter Pan, it sucked less than Peter Pan.
Exactly.
right?
And put
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
on the poster. Did you see the new commercial that IKEA put out over the weekend? It's an Apple parody. It's about their catalog, just the IKEA catalog. But
Oh,
they
really?
they shoot it like it's Apple releasing a new product. Check it out.
You know, once in a while, something comes along that changes the way we live. A device so simple and intuitive, using it feels almost familiar. Introducing the 2015 IKEA catalog. It's not a digital book or an ebook. It's a book. First thing to note is no cables, not even a power cable. The 2015 IKEA catalog comes fully charged, and the battery life is eternal. The interface is 7.5
like the accent.
by
great.
8 inches, but can expand to 15 by 8 inches. The navigation is based on tactile touch technology that you can actually feel. Content comes pre-installed via 328 high-definition pages of inspiring home furnishing ideas. To start browsing, simply touch and drag.
It's so much like an Apple commercial.
That's
and what
hysterical.
they're saying is,
IKEA's pretty slick.
You
I like
turn
that.
the pages. That's how it
love
works.
that.
And Mike, the power supply is eternal.
It comes fully charged.
There are no cables, not even a power cable.
Don't get showed.
And as we continue to plan our ongoing trip to Cuba, remember, Mike, there are guidelines about going to Cuba.
This is big. As of today, Americans can now legally travel to Cuba as long as the visit falls under 12 categories like family trips, research, or humanitarian projects. Yeah, and Cubans can travel to the U.S. as long as it falls under any of the 9 positions on a baseball diamond.
That is your magic audio ball. Have a great Monday, everybody.
That's it. We got to get out of here. Hey, Katie, thank you very much. Good luck
Thank
with the
you,
trip to
Mike.
Savannah. Keep us posted, and you're welcome to come back anytime. I will be laughing all day at Coconut and Glitter.
So great.
I swear to God. That's it. Another show has come and gone. Be sure and join us again for more fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you wish to correspond with the Mike O'Mara Show with a letter or package, send it to TMOS 2796 Leesburg, Virginia 20177. 7 to get your message or birthday request into the Wednesday, but this week it's going to be Thursday again, mailbag.
Okay, good.
Is that okay with you?
Fine by me.
Okay, just checking.
Why? I mean, it's fine. Why would
I want
it
to
be?
do 2 on Thursday, just because I ask you.
Oh, it's fine.
Like
yeah.
you asked me, like when we asked when we're going to change things. But anyway, it's send it to Rob with 2 B's
Me.
at MikeO'MaraShow.com. I just took care of some show business that I won't take care of off air.
No, we're not even going to see the back of Mike's shirt touch his back.
We're
Get outta
going to
here.
do.
You
We're
might
going to
with
do
that
2.
shirt.
We're going to do 2 on Thursday this week. The Mike O'Mara Show relies on word of mouth. Tell a friend or family member about TMOS and make sure they get it too. For Rob Spiewak and KT Powers Von Herman, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Toodaloo.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.